Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on the Cycling Dane Extra channel, and this is another one of our stage previews of the Vuelta España 2025. And if you haven't already, why not hit the like button and subscribe to the video and check out the Cycling Dane podcast available on Spotify. Nevertheless, the fourth stage of the Vuelta takes the peloton on a 206.7 kilometer journey from Susa in Italy across the border into France, finishing in the town of Voiron. It is a stage steeped in alpine heritage and one that climbs roads familiar with the Tour de France, brushes close to the legendary slopes of the Alpe d'Huez, and yet refuses to unleash the full savagery of the mountains. Instead, it offers a selective but not decisive test, perfectly suited to the rhythm of an opening week where the battle for the red jersey simmers rather than explodes. The flag drops in Susa, a town framed by the Alps and known for its Roman arch and medieval fortification. There is little time for a gentle start because the road rises immediately towards the Puerto Exil, 5.7 kilometers at an average gradient of 5.6%. It's only a category 3 climb, but positioned so early it will light the fuse for the day's breakaway for sure. The strongest opportunists will know this is their moment to pounce and get up the road, and the pace in the peloton will be fierce. From there, the route presses higher in the Alps, reaching the Col de Montgenèvre, 8.4 kilometers long at 5.9%. This climb is a natural passage into France, has its own storied past. It has been crossed 7 times in the Tour de France and 3 times in the Giro d'Italia, most memorably when Richard Virenque led the race over the summit in the yellow jersey in 1999, as recently as well used in 2024 when Stephen Williams claimed the honours here during the Tour, proof that the Montgenèvre continues to attract moments of significance. For the Vuelta, it provides the gateway into France, and from its 1850 meter summit, the road drops briefly before rising once more. The third and final major ascent of the day is the Col de Lauteret, a 13.8 kilometer climb at a steady average of 4.3%. The Lauteret has appeared more than 40 times in the Tour de France, almost always as the lead-in to the mighty Galibier. Its profile makes it more of a long drag rather than a brutal test, but its altitude and history cannot be ignored. Names such as Joaquim Rodriguez, who crested it first in 2014, are etched into its legacy. At 2,056 meters, the Lauteret marks the high point of the stage, and with nearly 130 kilometers still to race, it signals the end of the real climbing of the day. What is striking is what the stage does not do. From the Lauteret, the road leads naturally towards the Bourg d'Oisans, the village at the foot of the Alpe d'Huez, the most famous climb in cycling with its 21 hairpins and countless Tour de France legends winning here, sits waiting in the background. The organizers of the Vuelta España have, however, not chosen to send the riders up it, maybe wanting not to disrespect the legacy of the Tour de France. Instead, they will keep the road pointing downward from the thunderclap of the Alpe d'Huez and towards a far more balanced finale. In doing so, they resist the temptation of a spectacle and preserve the logic of this first week. Difficult stages that stir intrigue without deciding the race. The descent from the Lauteret is immense, stretching almost 70 kilometers down the valley of the Romance and the Isère rivers. Familiar names drift past the Bourg d'Oisans, Rio Perrot, places inseparable from Tour de France history, yet the peloton never turns upwards. Instead, it drops to the valley floor and heads west, passing through Grenoble at 160 kilometers into the stage. This long transitional section will be decisive for the day's script. If a strong breakaway has formed and stayed away early on, this is their chance to consolidate a lead. If the sprinters teams sense opportunity, they will need to work tirelessly to keep the race within reach. The finale is not straightforward. Just beyond Grenoble, the riders will face the Col de Combois, only 2 kilometers in length but averaging 6.3%. It is the kind of ramp that will hurt tired legs and offers a springboard for late attackers. From there, the road towards Voiron is rolling, with the finish itself proving trickier than it first appears. The last 2.3 kilometers drag subtly uphill with a left-hand corner just 300 meters from the line, feeding into the finishing straight that kicks at 4%. It is the sort of finale that eliminates pure sprinters and instead favors riders who combine speed with punch, like the likes of Mads Pedersen, for instance, while almost opening the door for a late move from a puncher or even a GC rider hunted competing for bonus seconds. Voiron itself carries recent cycling history as well. In the 2019 Criterium du Dauphiné, Wout van Aert won here in a reduced sprint, powering past Sam Bennett on an uphill run-in, unlike today's one. That precedent suggests that most likely outcome will be a group whittled down by the climbs and the distance, settling matters in a hard but uphill sprint. Stage 4 is therefore a paradox. Its profile looks alpine, yet the major climbs are front-loaded and the second half of the stage is long and transitional. It has all the ingredients for a successful breakaway to stay away, particularly if the right riders make the moves on the climbs, yet it could also come back together, setting it up for an explosive finale in Voiron. Above all, it's a stage that carries the aura of the Tour de France into the heart of the Vuelta España, borrowing alpine gravitas without delivering alpine carnage. But before we get into the stage predictions, we might as well hear what Patrick had to say about the stage in this preview show before the race.
Stage 4, we start in Italy but end in France. We go from Susa to Voiron. This takes us over the Col de Montgenèvre, through Briançon, and then over the Col de l'Ortele, which is, for those interested, the climb at the bottom of the Col de Galibier. Then we do one big old descent through Le Bourg d'Oisans, continuing down and onto Voiron.
In terms of the predictions, I mean, Mads Pedersen and Jasper Philipsen, if they do survive that onslaught in that front-loaded climbs, they could well and truly be there. Even if they have lost a bit of ground, the teams could be strong enough to drag this all back on that very long transitional section. So maybe this could be one for the fast, explosive puncher guys. And with the limited opportunities available for the sprinters in this year's Vuelta España, I think they will do everything they can to grab the opportunities when they are presented. And these guys are certainly the fast men there. Even Brian Coquard could be in the mix as well if he is still there. But I mean, if it is a breakaway, who knows who could be in the selection for that. Astana, we keep banging on about them, and they could well and truly grasp this opportunity with the likes of Sergio Higuita, and we could even see some other teams trying to get up the road with a fast man that could make this stick. Nance Peters, we haven't seen him be successful in a Grand Tour in terms of taking a stage win for a very long time. Andrea Bajoli maybe could be up there as well in a breakaway, or even someone from Ineos Grenadiers from the likes of Brendan Rivera, or even Victor Langalotti, who took a stage win recently. But many of the GC teams I don't think are going to be allowing their riders to go up the road. So Picnic Personnel equally could send someone up there, and Lotto as well. Could Viviani even survive the onslaught? But Tom Pidcock, if he was in the breakaway mindset, it could be very interesting if he was in the mix there. But we'll wait and see what happens. Certainly is an interesting stage. And with that, that's basically it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and do check out the Cycling Dane podcast available in the pinned comment, and of course check out the preview show as well before the race. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.